Hey, it's Tim with the University of Vinyl. I'm back today to talk about another box set. If you saw my previous video, it was all about the vintage Beatles BC13, the Beatles collection, the blue box. Today I want to talk about something brand new that I just got in the mail earlier this week. That is Lindsey Buckingham's 20th Century Lindsey. And this collects all of his solo albums from the 20th century, along with a bonus LP that features kind of rarities, extended single mixes, and soundtrack songs. It came with kind of a cool lithograph, so a reproduction of the cover of the box. They took the time to put this in a cardboard backing, so it arrived in pristine condition. I think the people that got in really early, Lindsey was signing these. I'm not sure how many of those were released. The big news about this box set is it includes the first repress since 1992 of what I think is a classic, and Lindsey's classic solo record. Out of the Cradle, there is the record, there is the back cover. If you know, you know, this is very, very rare. It was only released on vinyl in '92. Oddly enough, there was a pressing in Portugal, and there was a kind of an extended European release. As far as I know, this was never pressed in the United States. This record was on repeat with me in 1992, 93, 94, and onwards on CD, and I always remember it being one of the best sounding CDs I had ever heard. This includes Don't Look Down, Wrong, Countdown, which he performed on The Letterman Show, which is a Fury version. Check that out on YouTube. Soul Drifter, an incredible tune. There is You Do or You Don't. That's all on side one. Side two, Street of Dreams, Surrender to Rain, Doing What I Can. This Nearly Was Mine, which of course is a cover, and Say We'll Meet Again, co-produced by Richard Dashut. The story behind this record is Lindsey Buckingham left Fleetwood Mac the first time in 1987 after Tango in the Night. He worked on this record in his home studio with Richard Dashut as kind of a sounding board. Remember Richard Dashut? Co-producer of Rumors, co-producer of, I think, everything that Lindsey had been involved with all the way back to Buckingham Nicks. So a very kind of confidant, a partner in arms, Richard Dashut. After leaving Fleetwood Mac, he worked on this album basically for 3 or 4 years straight. And you can go back and check out interviews on YouTube, but they're all pretty much the same. He talked about, he worked out of his house and he would start his day at 10 in the morning, and sometimes he would work all the way up until 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And this is probably the most accessible record that we have from Buckingham at that point in time. Go Insane from '84, very, very experimental, taking Tusk to a whole different level with a lot of different synthesizers and tape loops. Buckingham is known for being a studio rat, and all of his records have got a very layered sound. Let's take a look at that first record, Law and Order. This, of course, came out in 1982. Now, this is the cover art, and they have reproduced the original gatefold. It's actually a very nice, substantial record. I have other box sets. A Randy Newman box comes to mind, where these covers are just so flimsy. This is actually quite substantial. I'm kind of impressed with that. However, if you look at the original here that I have, this is a nice, pristine, near mint copy. They're a little bit off on the coloring and the tint here. In my opinion, I like this better, but we're only talking about the cover art here, so not a big deal. Let's talk about the sound quality. These were cut by Bernie Grundman. You will find BG in the dead wax for all of these records, and it's simply stunning. It's so nice to have a copy of Out of the Cradle. I wasn't too jazzed about Go Insane and Law and Order because I already have originals that sound great. But the other big bonus here is this Rarities Extra 4th LP that came with the package. And this is cool because you've got Holiday Road, you've got Dancing Across the USA. There is an extended remix of Go Insane, the title track, Slow Dancing, Soul Drifter, another radio remix on the wrong side, and then Twisted, which is a duet with Stevie Nicks from 1996. There is the back cover. That, of course, was Twisted was I think the closing track over the credits on that tornado thriller called Twister. Again, 1996, 1 year later, Lindsey Buckingham would be back with Fleetwood Mac with that huge reunion LP and tour called The Dance. And they would continue in different iterations and forms all the way up to 2018, when basically Stevie Nicks said she just couldn't finally get along with Lindsey once and for all, forever, ever again. And she basically was the person who kicked Lindsey Buckingham out of Fleetwood Mac in 2018, and they went on to do that weird tour with Mike Campbell and Neil Flynn. It took two guys to replace Lindsey. This is really cool. I can't recommend this set higher. It sounds great, wide sound stage, a good Bernie Grundman mastering job here. He had, incredible source materials to work with. These were well recorded, well engineered, great sounding records when they came out. The only drawback here is if you were in the US, you are hard pressed to have a copy of Out of the Cradle. Let me know in the comments if you have one of those originals. I'm going to throw up the current Discogs view of what's for sale as far as Out of the Cradle. But this is a great set. It is, I think, comes in at $99. You're getting these 4 remastered albums. Of course, the 4th is the bonus disc. And I see on the back cover, Patrick Milligan is one of the producers on this set with Rhino. This is a Rhino release. And Patrick, think about maybe putting out of the Cradle as a Rhino hi-fi. Wouldn't that be cool? The thing about this record is it's very personal. The songs are incredibly well crafted. Lindsey went on and toured behind this record, and I don't think it landed in 1992. Lindsey Buckingham, he always talks about being in the big machine, which is Fleetwood Mac, and then doing his own records, which is not going to be as commercially viable. So I could understand that they probably won't do Out of the Cradle as a high fidelity, the Rhino high fidelity audiophile issue. But, we've got a Bernie Grundman cut here that sounds amazing as part of a $99 set. Maybe this will make its way and be all of these records, the remastered versions might be singly released later. Sometimes that happens, but I was not going to pass on this. And there you have it, 20th Century Lindsey, a recommended box set if you are a Lindsey Buckingham fan, if you want to hear the proper albums in great sound quality for a decent price. I recommend it. I think you can find it on Lindsey Buckingham's website and, of course, on the Rhino website. Funny thing is, they are releasing this in CD format, but it's not coming out until August. So if you are watching this channel, I'm probably assuming that you are a record collector, a record fan. Go get this now. I don't know how many copies were pressed, but I think it's a good price, and it's great to have this. Take care, everybody.